Okay, so I think we're back up again. Yep, looks like we're back up again. Okay, so we're headed to the signal source. And as you can see there, the timer says it'll take 5 hours to get there at this speed. If I push left shift, it'll get us up to about 3,000, I think, or 2,500. Okay, so that's still 20 minutes away though. But if I hold down spacebar, and then I can let go. I can take my hands off now, and this will just it'll just keep going until I either run out of fuel or I come up close to a large ship or a space station, and that'll interfere with this um, pulse engine boost. Still going to take a minute to get there. The various asteroid fields that we're flying through to get there, if you wanted to, you could stop or slow down, and you can kind of shoot up the asteroids to get gold, silver, platinum, and tritium. All useful things. The tritium is the most useful, I think, at the start because it helps to power your pulse drive. You can't move around when you're using the pulse engines. You can't turn to the sides. You can't tilt or anything like that. That's as much as you can do. Uh, okay, the planet's atmosphere has interrupted the pulse engines, but we're almost there. We'll hit the brakes before we hit the ground. So that's our destination. If you press E, that'll initiate the landing sequence. And some of the pre-built structures that are around the place still have an actual landing pad that'll have um, like green circles emanating from it. If you land on those, you don't need to use your launch thrusters to take off again, so it helps you conserve fuel. Um, okay, so these beacon things here, these are like random save points. Something, and I could be wrong, but I've not seen any way to have any kind of look around when you look at a planet. There's no kind of planetary map to show which areas you've discovered or which areas that you haven't. So they've completely kind of ignored that. As you move around the planet, you will find various things that you'll find. You'll discover different areas, but then there's no way of sort of keeping any record of that. It's just next time you go there, uh, it'll tell you that it was discovered by you on a certain date or time. I feel like they definitely missed a trick there. There needs to be some kind of record when you're scanning a planet or something to see what's there. What's that? Organic rock. Anyway, let's get on with the mission. Log entry. No fuel. Base computer. There we go. A terrain manipulator. Terrain manipulator is basically a tool that you can dig out the resources that are in the ground, like the copper, the cobalt, and things. So we need carbon nanotubes and hydrogen jelly. We're going to need the copper to do that. So what do we need? We need copper, terrain manipulator. But we don't have a terrain manipulator. Uh, is it going to tell me? It's not going to tell me, is it? Let's go to P anyway. Okay, that's what we need. Okay, is this? That's the mission that is currently active. So that's the those are the hints that it'll show up with. But if you select a different mission, then it will give you different instructions. There we go. So I need to make some dihydrogen jelly, which I can't make because I need 40 hydrogen. And if we press C, there's some hydrogen crystals. We mine these the same way you mine anything else. I'm not going to bother scanning everything, not for this. Weapon charge depleted. So if you go into your multi-tool, when that happens, you've got your mining beam there. If you left click on that, these are the different fuel types and phosphorus you can use to charge it up. This has only charged it up by, what's that, just over a third. The condensed carbon is more efficient. It will charge it up by more per unit. But that'll do for now. We need more dihydrogen, so let's hit C again. See if there's any more around. There's some more up there. Okay. Okay, have we got enough to make that dihydrogen? Yes, we have. There we go. Carbon nanotubes. So we need regular carbon for that. We also need the carbon for the mining beam. Is that carbon? That is carbon. The crystals, when it's in the crystal form like that, it's usually the condensed carbon. But some of it, the larger crystals, I think you need the advanced mining beam, which we don't have yet. What's that? That will just take some more plants. Small carbon, these little pumpkin-like things. Some of that too. I need to make two, but I wanted to gather some extra so I can recharge the mining tool a bit as well, because we're going to need some more of that. Okay, so let's make some carbon nanotubes. If you hold down E, it'll kind of just do another one if you've got the resources in your inventory for it. Okay, so terrain manipulator in the multi-tool. Press E again. Get that installed. And then if you press G, like it says there, you can switch, you scroll through your different tools or weapons depending on what you've got installed. So we've got the mining beam, we've got the terrain manipulator. If you click the middle mouse button or the scroll wheel, it switches between create and destroy, basically. The mining thing just carves out a chunk of the ground, whereas the create just randomly creates piles of dirt for you if you need to do that for some reason. It doesn't even really help in base construction because there's no way that I can tell or that I've seen yet of actually being able to flatten something out. You can just raise it up with a big pile of dirt, or drop it down. These weird little animals. Yeah. Uh, anyway, copper. We need copper. So if you use the scanner F, what's that agent data structure? That'll give you some navigation data which you can use to put into a scanner to find nearby structures and things. But what we need is, that's phosphorus. We need copper. There's copper. See if this one closer. That's like 500 away. And then building. Oh, I guess we'll have to go for the one that's, what was it? No? There. If you hold down E, like I did there, it'll, not with this, not scanning things, but it'll tag it so that it'll stay visible. Oh, that's worn down. Okay. We're going to need to do something about that. But yeah, if you hold down E when you're using the scanner on something like that, it'll tag it so that you can go about and do other stuff, and it'll still be there, be easier to find, easier to follow. Just going to grab this sodium so I can charge up the hazard protection. I'm going to gather that, and then I'll jump in this starship, let that recharge, and then I'll have this with me if I need to recharge it again a bit before we get back to the ship again. And I could take off with the ship and fly over to the copper. It's just the launch thrusters. Oh, we've got some uranium actually. So we can't make that yet, but could charge them with uranium. Let's do that then. And make it go a bit quicker. Something else that I've noticed, which, oh, there you go. There's one of the hunters chasing one of the little things. He's going to chase him down and kill him. But yeah, something that I discovered, if you left click, then if your terrain manipulator or mining beam is the one that you've got kind of selected at the time, it'll just pull out the multi-tool. But if you've got the bolt caster, I think it's called, or any of the other weapon options installed, if you left click, he doesn't just pull it out, he'll pull it out and loose off a shot. And I've actually killed myself more times than I care to admit with the grenade launcher thing upgrade that I got, because just accidentally hitting right click, he just shoots a grenade. And more often than not, I would accidentally hit the right click when I was looking at something, or looking at the ground, or in a hole, or in a close to a cliff or something, and it would just one shot me being that close to the explosion. Okay, I think we got it all. There wasn't much there, so we're going to need to find some more. It's more getting up. It's still scanning things. Get that out of the way. Okay, that's phosphorus. We don't want phosphorus. Solar iron. Was that one of the expensive ones? I can't remember now. Might have to go and look for it. Just it's not one of those data structures. We could learn another word. There's more copper. Yeah, there's the copper. Where's that solar line? How far away? It's organic rock. No, we're not going to do that. It's not what we're here for. Okay, let's go over to the other copper. Mine some more of that out. Oh, that's yeah. It's not letting me mine that out because it's too close to the starship. It does that sometimes. So I shouldn't have parked that close. It's something that I'd like to see. Uh, is for when you're doing the scanning to find the deposits, if it would give you some idea of how much of that resource is at that location. It's like you saw with that last copper deposit. There was very little there once we got there, and it doesn't just mine out the resources either. It digs out the ground as well. So if you would just hold it down, you just end up digging a tunnel in the ground. Uh, which it only goes down so far as well. There's kind of a skin on the planets, and then there's the destructible ground above that. You can mine out quite a lot of it, but there is a limit. You can't actually mine out the entire core of a planet, for example, which is a thought that crossed my mind of something that would be fun to do. Uh, Chromatic metal, right? So I need the refiner. It's too close to the ship. We'll put it there. There we go. So we need to refuel that with more fuel. So X to put the copper. Excuse me. So it's actually a bit warm. So just while that's doing that, just just get the mining beam back. We'll get some more of this carbon. Take out some of these. There we go. Weapon charge depleted. So we'll charge that up again with what we've got. There we go. Just for whatever comes next. It's almost done with the chromatic metal. There we go. We get the choice. If you left click on that, you get the choice of which inventory to put it into. Once you've got a freighter, you can also choose to put it in that from wherever you are. And you can do the same from your suit inventory or from your starship inventory. You can choose things and send them straight to your freighter when you get to that point, which is a bit odd, but um, that's what you can do. Okay, so we need to make a base computer now. Let's put it down here in a bit more of this clearing down here. Base computer. Oh, there we go. So if we open this up, it goes through this. We can claim the base. And this, I think what this does is it stops anybody else from being able to build within a certain radius of you. It also makes it like a hard save point as well. Wherever you fly to, other planets, other systems, whatever, this will show up on the map as being your home base. So I have to search the base archives. Make a wooden wall now, and it takes carbon. So I'm going to need to gather some more carbon. I need to construct a shelter, so it is carbon that I need. Let's take some more of these pumpkins. If I remember rightly, all you actually need in order to have the protection from the elements is like one wall and a roof section. But we'll build a few. As you can see as well, I'll just mention it in case you didn't notice. When the heat bar, um, the mining beam, which I guess you can't see, you can see when it gets full. Um, but yeah, once it gets full, if you just let go of the mouse button just for a second, you can start using it again before you don't have to wait for it to have cooled down all the way. You can just start using it again and it'll automatically be starting from being cool. So if you press Z, is it Z? Oh, that's right. And then right click, that kind of takes you back out of the option for the portable technology. And then you can use the scroll wheel to choose through farming. Why is it giving me that option? Okay. We'll put one of those down anyway, just because we can. Um, oh, I needed to right click again. Okay, that explains it. Okay. So these are the options, and I was in the equipment slot. So if I'd this is where I was with the portable technology, and then I right clicked. What's it? Anyway, yeah. And then right clicked to get to here, and then need to right click again to come out into the construction options and decoration stuff. So left click again to go into this, and then left click again. It wants us to build a floor first, so let's build it on the high point here. There we go. And then it kind of automatically kind of tags on in places where it's buildable. Kind of makes it a bit easier, and you can rotate it by pressing R or T. For a lot of things, it doesn't make a huge amount of difference. But that's clockwise and anti-clockwise. But if you hold down R or T, then you can use or not when it's locked onto things like that, but when you're trying to free place something, you can actually use the scroll wheel to turn it kind of a little bit like that instead of it kind of snapping to different locations like that. Okay, anyway, so we need to build that's the roof, that's what we want. So with that, we'll build a door and we'll put a roof. There we go. So there we go. We've got our own little wooden shack. It's yeah, there you go. So being inside here, that allows our hazard protection to recharge by itself. We actually need to fix our life support as well. Okay, well, that's not good. We need some more oxygen to charge that up fully. There we go. We'll just click through this. What's it going as now? As building part blueprint analyzer. That's what you need for the buried technology. See if it's on there. You go. Buried technology module. You go and collect those, and you'll get sort of 2, 3, or 4 technology modules. And then once you have those, you put them through that blueprint analyzer. And it's basically a point system. Every base building item has a certain points value attached to it, and you can use those to essentially learn different buildings. Okay, so I need magnetized ferrite, which means I need to put pure ferrite through the refiner. And to get the pure ferrite, I need the ferrite dust. Let's research these just in case it does make it more efficient. I don't know whether it does or not. Oh, sodium is the secondary element. Okay. That's good because we need that to recharge the hazard protection. Oh, there we go. I'll just show you what happens. Actually, he's scanning me, and it's fine because I stopped what I was doing. But if I was to continue, it'll scan me and it'll turn red, and then it'll start shooting at me, which is gun's overheated. There we go. I'm not gonna kill it because if I kill it, then there will be a lot more of them that come after me. You can get away from them by just kind of running away, getting a bit of distance, and then they'll start kind of searching for you, not be able to find you, and then the drones will be kind of deactivated. But if there's a structure nearby that you can get inside of, you can go inside, and they can't follow you inside, so they'll just look around. Sometimes they'll actually come in through the doors because they're not actual closable doors. They'll just wander in through the door and they'll be stuck inside the structure then, which is a bit awkward sometimes, but it's not too big of a deal. You can get lockable doors, well, not lockable, but closable doors later on. It's one of the things you can research. There you go. Sentinel Force deactivated, and now it's fine. It's all is forgiven. He doesn't care anymore. He's not fussed at all. He doesn't remember that we were just trying to steal resources from the planet that it's meant to be sort of protecting or looking after or whatever it is that it's doing. So we can get a bit of distance and we can go back to gathering resources. It's actually heading back over in this direction. So we'll just finish that. There we go. He's going over there. So if we run over here a bit, we can find some of this. I have to see if I can find some more oxygen actually, because my life support thing isn't going to last that much longer. And that doesn't recharge when you're in your ship or in a structure. I'm not sure why. The hazard protection does, but the life support thing doesn't. But yeah, okay, there's some glowing red plants over here. Those are the ones that produce oxygen. Any others nearby that I can see? You're right. I'll get some more carbon actually, because that's yeah, that's one of the bigger crystals. We need the advanced mining laser for that. We can get the smaller stuff around it though. Advanced laser required. You get different ratios sometimes when you're putting stuff through the refiner. Sometimes it's 1 to 1, sometimes it's 2 to 1. And when you refine it back down again, sometimes it's 2 to 1, 3 to 1 in some cases. There's another one of those hazardous plants. I think it's capped at 250 of whatever resource you want to put in. So you can't put more than 250 in at a time. We'll have to refuel that a bit as well. Actually, may as well fill it up because we're going to have to run this through again afterwards. Let's see actually if there's any more oxygen close by. Carbon. While that's doing that, actually, that's... Oh no, that's a different kind of plant. Okay. Scan the animal. Get some units. There you go. Its diet is scavenged remains, which isn't entirely accurate because it will actively hunt other creatures. But that's a clue that it's carnivorous, and you don't get the option to feed these animals, which is another way you can tell. But as you can see, they don't get aggressive. They do if you show aggression towards them. Sometimes they will defend themselves, but I think there's different tiers or something, because some of them will just run away from you, whereas some of them will actually try and fight you. There you go. He's off to. Okay. Kind of strange. Anyway, that's finished now. So let's go and collect the pure ferrite and then run it through again to turn it into the magnetized ferrite. Oh, it's just 2 to 1, the ratio for this. So I don't know how much of that magnetized ferrite we needed actually. Equipment, portable technology. Oh, we only needed 20, so that's not too bad. I think we've got that. Yeah, we have. Okay. We needed carbon nanotubes as well. So now we can build that. We'll build it inside just because why not? It's movable. We can pick it up again afterwards and put it somewhere else if we want to. But I think we may as well stick it in here. Okay. There you go. And this is the list of things that you can research and the number of salvaged technology modules. As you research these, it will unlock more. So this isn't it. These three lists. It's just once you research this, there'll be another, and you've got the ones that you start off with the wood and stuff. But you can also make, I think, concrete and metal, and some things you can only build inside kind of metal structures. Like the wooden structures, I guess, aren't strong enough or big enough or whatever to contain certain things. Okay, so we need to dig up some of that buried tech. How close is that? That's not too far away. Doesn't look like there's anything else around. So we'll head over to that. Let's hold down E to tag it so it's easier to find. Sprinting does reduce your life support, as you can see there. Reduces it quicker. But at the same time, if you're just running, it's running down anyway. So I don't know. I haven't worked out whether it's any more or less efficient to sprint or to just run. certainly makes a big difference to how long it takes you to get places. And to get to this, we're going to need the terrain manipulator. There we go. There we go. So we've got some of that now. We picked up 3. Let's just see if there's any oxygen nearby. There's some. Actually, quite a lot here. This is good. Some carbon. Oh, that's the wrong tool. Switch the mining beam. There we go. Oh, we're finished already. This weird little creature. Anyway, so we need to go back to the ship now, or back to our base. I'm not going to worry about recharging the hazard protection. It should last long enough for us to get back again. Oh, we'll grab these on our way past. The health in those white boxes, what that does is it gives you back one of those boxes. Oh, no, he's not attacking me. Okay. Oh, there you go. He's just killed one of those. Fair enough. Okay, so let's get inside here. We'll charge up my life support a bit. There we go. And we research. We've got 3. So I wonder what would be most useful. Base teleporter. Let's we can do a window as well. Why not? And that will have opened up a couple of different ones that weren't there before. I don't know what was there, what wasn't. But, yeah. So we've learned a couple of things now at least. And then they're scattered about all over the place. They're not too hard to find. So just as you go through, you'll be able to find lots of those. Base computer. Emergency broadcast. There's a guidance message there. If you press X, you can also do that with your, excuse me, your freighter as well. If you press X and go to summon vehicles, you can summon your current ship, and that's the one that we've got over there. So there's no need for us to do that. There's also this little buggy thing which I haven't figured out how to acquire that yet or what it's really for. You can summon your freighter, or you can select a different ship that's not your current ship to bring that down to you as well. Okay, not sure what's going on over there. Oh, he's finished now, whatever it was. Okay, so we don't need to do that. It wants us to go to... Where does it want us to go? Oh, that's a space station. I don't see anything else. I guess we go to the space station. I'm just going to pick this up and put it inside. Other players can come and pick this stuff up, I believe. I don't think there's any way of stopping them from doing that. Not that I'm aware of. But let's leave it there anyway. Investigate emergencies. I'll visit the space station. It does want us to go to the space station. That's good. The space stations always have that same icon, the yellow with the white. There we go. And when you're in space, if you just kind of look at another planet, you can press C to scan it, and it'll give you some basic information. So life incompatible. Its main resource is cobalt, and then pure ferrite and copper. There is, I think, some kind of scanner that you can get upgrade for your ship, which will provide you with more detailed information about a planet. But I'm not sure if that's about the planets or if that's about different systems when you're looking at them. I'm not sure. So just going to head to the space station. In the space station, there's various different sort of desks, kiosks that you can go to. Says pulse engine offline. Okay, well that's not good. Do we have any fuel for it? No, we don't. It's going to take us 10 minutes to get. There's a minefield, a meteor asteroid field here. So what I'm going to do quickly is just going to mine some of these asteroids, because what this will do is it'll give me oh, there's gold. I don't want that. It'll give me tritium, which is what we need in order to fuel the pulse engine. And then once we've got enough of that, we can refuel that and then head to the space station and not take 10 minutes to get there. Pulse engine. There we go. Okay, so where's the space station? Oh, the radar thing. It's kind of confusing. The bottom middle of the screen. It seems like you've got the two rings. If it's above the two rings, it's kind of above you. If it's below the two rings, it's below you. But obviously, it's a weird display. Yeah, it took some getting used to. Only 25 seconds. All right, there we go. The space station is interrupted. Oh, we'll just hit the brakes. Not quite soon enough. Okay, and then there'll be a kind of doorway into the space station on one of the sides. There it is. And this will kind of catch you and take you in and initiate a landing sequence all by itself. There we go. Oh, there's my alarm going off again, so that's another 45 minutes. I'm going to put another cut in the video here before I go looking around the space station. I'm going to be away for a minute, 2 minutes, and then I'll be back again.